Welcome back to Wives on the Island. I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Jessica, and today we're going to just catch up with each other. We're going to talk about working moms. We're also going to talk about Rihanna and the secret wives of Mormon lives. So I can't wait for that. So how are you doing today? I can't wait.
I know. That's so funny. No, I am good. I'm good. It's funny. TMI, I have been bleeding for like 12 days and I was like, I'm just so over it. The whole like tampon situation I'm just done. Why are you laughing so?
I didn't know you were just going to talk about bleeding. I was just not ready for it, but I love it. It's like we don't care. I wasn't expecting that. At no point did you say you were going to say that, so it just caught me by surprise. But I love it. I love it. Keep it going because it's real and it's something that we deal with.
I wrote it down because I feel like I cannot be the only one to have this happen to. Well, maybe not the 12-day of bleeding.
No, some people do.
Yeah, well, hopefully not because it sucks. Yeah. But I was in the bathroom and my daughter's like on the verge of trying to potty train. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I gotta go pee. So I take her. But I was like, I have to pee too. Let me just change her tampon real quick. And she didn't pee in her diaper. So I was like, okay, cool. Just take it off, put it right back on. But the restaurant that they were doing renovations, so they had only one stall open, and while we were waiting on like 3 people in front of us, she ended up going in her diaper. So I had to text my husband, like, bring me a diaper, and then he brought the diaper, but I was able to use the bathroom before he brought the diaper to me. And you know how toddlers are, they're just like touching everything. Yep. And I was like, can you not? And I was trying to change my tampon in and out and this and that. And then whatever, I changed her, come home like 4 hours later. I'm like, I have to pee so bad. I've been holding it for a while. And I take my tampon out. I'm like, wow, I didn't bleed that much. And then I go to wipe and I feel something. And I frickin' put 2 tampons in. And I was like,
that's why I got the message.
Yes.
Like, I might die.
I was like, when does the toxic shock set in? It made me sick to my stomach afterwards that I was so worried that I was gonna like come down with like some toxic shock and stuff. I was so scared. But look, maybe because it was like a light tampon, not like a super, like I wasn't like, I'm like, hopefully like 2 lights equals 1 super. And so normal.
People, I've read, I don't have like, I get heavy ones, but it's never been like that bad where I've needed to. I usually do a tampon and a pad just because if I'm bleeding that heavy, I don't trust the tampons to not get on my pants or anything like that. So, but I do know people who do use two tampons at a time if they need to because it's been so heavy. Like people who have like PCOS or fibroids and stuff, sometimes their stuff is so heavy they do use to. I don't know how. I didn't know that it was possible. I'm going to be honest. I thought like your uterus would stop it at some point and you would be like, oh, no, it can't go in there. But
what if it gets lost?
It can't. I don't think it can. I'm pretty sure that your uterus or something in there stops it, that you can't move it all the way up.
Your cervix?
Maybe that's what it is. Cervix.
I don't know.
Uterus? I don't know. It's one of those, and it stops. It's a barrier, so it stops it. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sorry I came in hot with my period talk.
It's okay. It was just like, you're like, oh, and I've been bleeding. And I was like, okay, here we go.
So funny.
Here we go.
Well, what's going on with you, Jessica?
So I am prepping to go to Costa Rica for a week with my husband. Mm-hmm. We're going to, have some alone time the week before my daughter graduates high school. So I could just cry pretty much in a different country. We're getting ready to go on our trip, and we've been planning for that. My mom's going to come and stay with the kids. Not that she needs to babysit. It's just to make sure they don't burn down the house or kill each other.
Never. I mean, your younger one is.
Yeah, but no, when they're together, it's like they fight with each other. And then it's like, it's just, you had brothers.
They need a rough.
Like,
they need a rough. I get you.
My daughter would not listen to my oldest. My youngest one would be like, you're not the boss of me. And then they wouldn't go to school. And it's the last week of school. So I just need everybody to just do what they need to do. So my mom's strict and she will lay down the law. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so Costa Rica, I'm excited. We're doing one excursion while we're there. And we're taking a trip to Nicaragua. It's like a day trip to Nicaragua. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So it's not that cool because I'm pretty sure I have to be up at like 5:30. And I was like, this is vacation. But
then you like...
I could sleep on the bus.
Exactly. Maybe. I was like, you go on a bus. Yeah, I think you will.
Yeah.
That's what I did. When we went to Portugal, we took a day trip to Sevilla in Spain, and I just like slept on the bus because it was like a 2-3 hour ride. I forget, but I was
Yeah.
like, I'm just gonna sleep until we get there. You wake me up, stop for some ham and cheese sandwiches and stuff halfway through, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's so much fun though. I'm so
Yeah.
excited for you guys. I can't wait to see all the pictures and hear about it. Not all of
Yeah.
it, but
Well, you know what's funny is that, like, speaking of periods, I went to the doctor so that, because, again, we've talked about it, perimenopause, sometimes my cycle's a full month, sometimes it's 10 days, sometimes it's 17 days. You know, we don't know. So I literally got my period 2 days early the last time I got it. So then it was like the second day that we were going to be there, I was going to be on my period. So I was like, absolutely not. I have white bathing suits. I want to, I don't
yeah.
need that. So I went to the doctor and I got a pill that's supposed to stop my period. So we'll see. Hopefully it works.
I hope it works. Do you have to take it like on when you're supposed to get it, or like a week
So you take it
before?
3 days before your period,
Okay.
and then you take it every day while you're on your period. While you're supposed to be on your period, like you take it every day.
Gotcha.
You start it early, and she's like, oh, you could take up to 3 pills a day, but she only gave me 7 pills because she was like, you have anxiety, don't you? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, you can't. It speeds your heart up and it'll give you a panic attack. And I was like, okay. She's like, so one pill will be fine. I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's
So I'm hoping it
good
works
enough
because
for you.
she's cut down my pills. Like,
Oh my
I hope it
gosh.
works. So we'll see. But
Yeah.
it's just, I don't stress about it, but it's just like, I don't want to have to go on this trip to Nicaragua and worry about finding
Going
a
to the
place to change
bathroom.
my pad.
Yeah.
I can't do it on a bus. You can't flush that down the toilet. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so yeah. So I'm
And
just
you
hoping
might
that
just not
it doesn't last.
you might just not like feel good either.
Right.
And who wants to
Because
like
I
not
get
feel good on
migraines and
vacation?
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So nope. So that's what I'm hoping for. So that is
Good.
it's pretty much it. I know it's like not that exciting. I know I'll have a lot more stuff to talk about after, and then we'll
Yeah.
have the whole graduation, and we could talk about that.
Yeah.
And because I have to wait until I tell you about my husband and graduation, because
Why you think he's
he's going all out for this graduation, and I get it. Like, she's graduating at high school.
Yeah.
But we went to having like people at the house. Now he's like, he got a backyard tent with chairs and stuff, and then like backyard games, like a big Jenga and a big Connect 4, and like bought like
Yes, that's fun.
multiple Bluetooth speakers. So
That's fun.
I know it is, but it's like, who is this person who was like
Has fun.
Yes. But he was also like, I don't understand why we have to have birthday parties. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like
Yeah.
anti
Like,
all
who
of
is
that
this person
stuff.
who wants to have fun?
Right, yeah. And I'm like, okay, he's like, what are we doing for dinner, for like food for everybody? What are we doing for this? And I was like, then he's like, you went on Temu? First of all, I didn't even know he knew what Temu was. And we have like 500 balloons. And I'm like, for what? We don't need
Oh my
500
God, wait.
balloons.
I love this side of him though.
I know, but I don't. I'm like,
Oh no. Listen,
I'm stressing. I'm stressing now. I have
if
to
my
buy.
husband ever did
to
that,
buy-
I'd be like, yes.
What is it? The thing that makes the balloons float? I have to get a tank.
Oh, a helium tank.
That's it. A helium tank. I have to get a helium tank.
No, everything that you're buying right now, you get to use again in 2 years. So
That's
it's
true.
like,
That's true.
it's
Except
good.
for the numbers, because
Yeah.
2025, 2027.
But then you only need one
the
number.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
I'm so excited
we're-
to hear about it. I can't wait for you to recap it. I'm pumped.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited too. I'm excited.
I
I love
know.
it. I love it.
So do you want to get into today's topics of working moms?
Yes.
So I was a working mom for a whopping 9 months, and it was horrible. But
It is.
I feel like it was horrible for me because I don't have any family here, and luckily we were on care.com and we found a babysitter, like an in-home babysitter, just to do it at her house. And when we called her, we FaceTimed her the very first time, and she had a New Jersey area code, and I was like, that's weird. Like, did you? And because I was so overwhelmed, first time mom.
Right.
I told my husband, you got to handle this. And then I was like, oh, she has a New Jersey phone number. Like, did you ask her about that? And he's like, oh no. And I'm like, okay, weird. And then we're telling her, like, well, this is our working situation. Like, we both work at the same place, and this is how they're doing it with COVID and this and that. And she goes, no, I totally understand this. Like, yeah, I get it. And we're just like, and this is what we have to do. And she's like, no, yeah, I totally understand. Like, my husband's in the same boat. He actually works at this place. And we're like, we work there. So her husband ended up working at the same place that we all work at. So I was like, I feel like it was, and they ended up moving down from New Jersey.
Just
Like
we
we
did.
did. Yeah, so I just felt like it was fate, and she was so good. And it was him for like a couple months too, like all by himself, which was really good. And then they started getting like a couple, like two little girls, and the girls were like not that good. So I felt like it rubbed off on him a little bit, but it just like it was so hard to bring him there and leave him there. And there was I remember the first day, it was like I had to leave him, and I was like, oh my god, what if he cries? Like I'm gonna cry. And that kid didn't cry. He was laughing and smiling. And I like got home and I started crying. And I remember my husband was having like a work meeting because it was during COVID. So people like were at our house, just 3 people. And they were like, how'd it go? And I was like, kid didn't even look back at me. Like, and they were like, yeah, but you would prefer that over him crying. And I was like, you're right. I'm not ready. But it was really tough having, because then at the end, he was starting to cry when I was leaving, and that's really hard. And it's so expensive and everything. So, but I will say, like, having the time to do, like, to work, and obviously I was doing my job, but there was a couple minutes downtime, like a half an hour. You have lunch, and it's just like you can decompress. You don't have to hear a baby cry. You don't have to do any of that. So like that break was so nice, because like sometimes I would eat while I was working, and then I would work out during my actual lunch, since we were working from home. So it was like my me time. Even when I was working, I was just like, I could listen to music while I was working, or just like not have to worry about a baby. But it was very expensive, but interesting. I'm interested to see how I will become a working mom in the future eventually. So, but coming from, I feel like you were a working mom most of your time as a mother.
Yeah, most of my time as a mom I worked. Like I said, there was that time where I did stay home and then I worked at night. But like I said, I always needed to work because like I need human interaction. But I think as I get older, I don't need it as much. Like I think I'd be okay to be a stay-at-home mom now. However, my kids are grown, so I can't do that. But being a working mom is hard. Like you said, when you move. We didn't live near our family. When we lived in New Jersey, my husband's had family that lived there, and they were very helpful. If we needed them, they were there, but we never really left our kids with anybody. I don't think we got a babysitter until we moved here. That was the first time my kids ever had a babysitter that was not a family member. Yeah. And I think they had only been away from us maybe like 2 or 3 nights, like in that time period. Like we took them, they were with us all the time. It was like if you invited us out, we came as a family. We didn't have babysitters. So when we moved to the here, and then we were in the temporary building that we were in, it was like, because I lived over by where you live, right? And so it was further away. I know, right? We could have lived like right down the street from each other, and it would have been
It makes
awesome.
me so sad. I know.
All that traffic that builds up, it would take me forever to get home. And then my husband was traveling. So it was like I had a job where I was pretty much on the phone. Like it wasn't like we weren't a call center, but we answered phone calls. And so we had to have like somebody there until 5, then somebody there until 6. And so I was till 5. But Atlanta traffic, you leave at 5 and you have to pick up at 6. There were so many times where I was like, I might not make it. I got pulled over once because I had the navigation
that when you had
up.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
and I had the navigation up, and I was like, and I'm like looking, and the cop comes up, and he wasn't being a dick, but I felt like he was, because I was in the moment of like, dude, I have to get my kids, and you don't understand what that's like, because I don't want to be charged $120 because I'm 15 minutes late. You know what I mean? And he's like, I was like, well, I use my phone navigation in case it reroutes me because I'm stuck in traffic, and so I always. And he's like, but you have a navigation on your. And I was like, yeah, but that navigation doesn't. Your car navigation doesn't reroute you. Your Waze will reroute you, or Google will reroute you to if traffic is better. It'll say I found a better way, and that's what I was looking for. So it was a real big struggle. And like I said, my husband traveled, so it was just me. You know what I mean? Like having to get there, and it was so hard. And we needed to get help because I wouldn't survive. I don't think I'd survive without help because it was hard. And then like think about it, you get home, you leave at 5, I was home by 6:30. I still had to make dinner. still had to help my kids with schoolwork. You know what I mean? Luckily, when we moved to where we are now, our kids had, there was a place and they did their homework with them. Like, she was a tutor, so it was like a whole bunch of kids went there. It was a bus that came to the school and picked them up, and they got there, and their homework was done by the time I got home. Like, by the
That's
time I picked them
nice.
up, their homework was done. I just checked it over with them. They had, like, spelling words and stuff. I would do that kind of stuff. But then it was like I could get them home, get them showered, and then they were in bed at a certain time. So that way, you know, because it's, with my children, you need to have a routine. Like, there was...
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
100%.
We were very strict with routines. And then when we were living over by you, my oldest was doing soccer. So, like, there would be days where I had to, like, get her, bring her to the soccer field, figure out what we were going to do for dinner, because we're on the soccer field, and then you have to go home, do homework, and it was just, I mean, God bless the parents that do that. My kids didn't do sports after that, because I was like, I don't have it in me to work all day and then sit on a field for 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I 100% agree. And I, like, don't you feel, like, guilty about that? You know? And I always, so, like, I am so fortunate and I'm so blessed. You know, I'm so happy that my husband is in the position that he is, that I could stay home, because when I grew up with two working parents, and, like, just what you were saying, like, you don't get out of the office till 5, if that, because sometimes it's a little later. And then you have, let's just say, like, an average person has a 30-minute commute. Then you're 5:30, and then you have to cook dinner, and then you're not eating until like 6:15, pushing 6:30. Like, we eat 5:15. We ate at 5:15 tonight, 5:30 the latest, and, like, my kids are in bed. Bedtime routine starts at 7. They're in bed by 7:30, and it's like I couldn't imagine being able to do all of that, like, on top of it, and trying to keep them on my schedule. Like, I would just be, like, freaking out all the time. Like, if we're 30 minutes off, even on the weekend, I'm like, I mean, I've calmed down a lot since my second kid, but with the first one, like, I was like, no, he needs to go to sleep at 1:15 and it's 1:20. What are you doing with your life, you know? Like, I was really strict with that. So, like, I just couldn't imagine. And with the sports thing, like, I wanted to do, like, cheerleading, and when I remember, even in college, I wanted to do, like, they had, like, cheer for our basketball team that we had, and I tried out and I made it, but, like, I couldn't do it because my parents were like, well, we need you to pick up your younger brother, because my youngest brother is 11 years younger than me, and they were like, well, you need to go, who's gonna pick him up from school? And I'm like, I guess me. And I just, like, look at that and I'm like, I will never have my kids do that, because, like, it like I know you didn't, like, tell your kids no, like, you did it, but, like, I never really got to do it. And we lived really far. We lived, like, probably, like, 45 minutes from my, like, where I went to school, and or where my mom works to where I went to school. So it was just, like, so crazy. And I'm like, oh no, I can't do that. So, like, I give the working moms who do that, and, like, you know, you have to have that flexibility and just, like, give in every once in a while, because if you keep to that schedule, it's like,
you're gonna go crazy.
Hard. Yeah,
you're gonna go crazy.
Yeah,
and then, like, it gets harder as their studies get harder. You know what I mean? Because now it's not like, okay, when we can do your homework as we're driving to like a game or to practice, because it's 4 + 4, and how many cats does she have? Like, that kind of stuff, right? But then as they get older, homework gets harder. Like, it gets harder. And I'm going to be honest, you're not there yet, but wait until they teach your kid math, okay? Because apparently they don't do the same math that we did. And I'm bad at math. I couldn't, true story, and I hate telling people this. Once my kids hit 3rd grade, I couldn't help them with math anymore. I just couldn't.
I'm terrified. I'm going to be in the same boat. I'm truly going to be in the same boat.
Luckily, my husband's good at math. He would watch, like, YouTube videos and then help the kids because he was good. But I was like, once 3rd grade hit, because not only... And it's not that I didn't know it. I helped my daughter with math one time. And I was so excited because I was like, oh, I know this. Showed her how to do it. I got a note home from the teacher saying, please do not teach her this way. Because apparently I was doing old school math, not new math.
Yes, they do.
They do boxes and add numbers to things that don't need to be added. I'm like, why? Why are we doing this? Like, make it an even number. Why? It confuses me. I knew how to do it the way that I taught her. She got it, and we did it, and I was so proud of us. And I literally got a note that was like, do not. And I said, fuck it. I'm not doing it anymore. Like,
Yeah. No,
we're
my
done.
sister-in-law sent me a picture of her daughters. I think honestly around that like fifth. No, she's in fifth now. So probably around third grade,
Yeah.
that age. And she's like, what the hell is this? Like, do you understand how to do it? And I was like, oh, kind of. But it's just so hard. Like, you were taught one way. And yeah, I'm not looking forward to that
No,
whatsoever.
but it gets harder, and it's like, do you want your kids to do well in sports, or do you want them to succeed in school? And it's like, I don't know.
While you have a job.
Yeah, yeah. While you have a job, right? And it's just, and then it's like you want them to have a real life, but it's very hard to have a real life when your parents don't get home till 6:30. Where are you going? You're stuck at the
Yeah.
house unless somebody's parents gonna come pick you up. It's just, it's so hard. And then I think the hardest thing, I would say probably the hardest thing I found was when your kids are sick. You only have so much sick time. So I started my first job, I worked at a daycare center. And let me tell you, as a 16-year-old, I sure as shit judged all these parents. I would be like, did you really just give your kid Tylenol and send her to daycare? Like, you don't think the Tylenol is going to wear off and she's going to have 104 fever? Like, I would be like, what? Do you not care about your kids? Well, no, they do, but they have jobs and they only get 5 sick days. So they drugged their kid with Tylenol to bring the fever down so that they could at least get some time in the office. Like, I get it now as an adult because not all jobs are like, oh yeah, that's fine, go. You know what I mean? Like, I've been lucky to have some managers who were super like, your kid's sick, you know. And then I've had other managers who I couldn't even take off when my daughter was having surgery. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you get a mix, and it happens and you just deal with it. But I see it now, and I feel so bad for those parents that I judged.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, I just don't like your kid.
Yeah.
And they did.
Seriously.
They want to be home. You don't want your kid going to school sick. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So it's just,
you have
it's so hard.
deadlines, meetings, presentations. Like, yeah, no, I totally get it. And even with the breaks, you mentioned doing camps. Those are so expensive sometimes. I'm pretty sure like your county does it, but in Georgia, like for Cobb County, they do digital learning days. I think like once a quarter.
Right.
So like, why? They give them just like, I mean, I don't know. I'm on like, you know, my mom's page on Facebook, and they like always complain about it. But like, what do? Do they just send home homework, or do they expect the parents who are supposed to be working to teach them this stuff? Like,
No.
To go over this stuff?
I think you're supposed to go over. I don't know. So the upside was like when my youngest was in 5th grade when she was graduating 5th grade when COVID happened. So it was just like the digital, like getting on every day. So I had to make sure that, and again, we still had our au pair here, and she would in the morning get up. She would sit with my youngest one and make sure that she was doing what she needed to do, because my youngest one had, like I said, it has ADHD, and so it's keeping a child staring at a screen, that's boring. You know what I mean? Like they could sit at an iPad for 8 hours, but for schoolwork, they're not doing that. So I think that for, you know, like that was hard. I couldn't imagine having little kids. Like, how do you do little kids in digital learning? Like, you do have to sit with them and be like, pay attention. Because the way that it works for my kids with their digital learning day is they log into their school portal, and each class gives them like what their work is for the day. And then they just have to turn in their work. But if my kids were in elementary school, I would have to check behind them and make sure that they were doing the work that they turned in. That's a lot. That's a lot.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But I don't even understand why they started this whole digital learning day when it's
supposed
like,
to be the teachers in service days. Kids used to just get
like
an in service day. It's
conference
like
days.
conference day. It's sometimes it's your conference day. Some days it's like extra education. Like somebody comes in and teaches you guys like something. I don't know. Because we used to have, when I worked in the high school, we used to have in service days. But then kids were just out of school. So it was like a built-in like out of school. So it's really, I mean, I just think like it even pisses me off that they have digital learning days for snow days now. Like, let the kids have a snow day. Why can't they have a snow day? It doesn't snow a lot in Georgia. Let them go play. They don't get to do this often. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel bad for them. So
I know. Coming from, I lived in the north, so
me too.
We were racking up snow days.
Yeah. I mean, it sucked when you were going to school in like the end of June, but
Literally.
it was fun when you were sledding in the snow because you didn't have a digital learning day. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah. So, I mean, even though my working mom time was only at 9 months, I would definitely say my pro would be that break, that mental break of like just getting a minute to breathe without your baby. And obviously it's still in your head, like what is he doing, what is she doing, what is going on, at least that's how I was. And then the con is like missing all those little moments. And luckily, like I said, I've never missed like any firsts for my kids, but I just feel like there's some moments that you have with your kids that aren't the first, but they're like special. Yep. And then you like just miss those, like the babysitter would like take the kids on the walk and put them in the wagon, and he would always be so happy. And I'm like, I don't take him in walks for the wagon, I put him in the stroller and he's facing that way. I don't even look at the kid,
Right.
So those are my pros and cons.
Yeah, I would say mine is more of like the interaction with people and doing something that I love my children. So when I say that, but I mean like doing something that I think enhances my life. You know what I mean? Like I get to work and do what I like to do. You know what I mean?
Agree, yeah.
The con is missing all the good stuff that your kids, like the stuff that you miss. Like there are sometimes, like I was literally just talking to a coworker today, and she was like, my son has Mother's Day tea in the middle of the day for Mother's Day, and it's like this Wednesday. She's like, and then they have Grandparents' Day on Friday, so I have to go to that. And then like they have this school thing, and it's like you either take off time that some people don't have to do it, or you miss it. And that I tried never to miss anything. Like if I had to take a vacation day, I would waste a vacation day because I didn't want my kid to not have their parent there.
Yeah.
But there are some parents who can't do it, and to me that's the con. Like the stuff that you miss because you can't miss work,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's
single
rough.
Moms that work.
Yes.
Shout out to the single moms that work, missing things. I can
just single parents in general that they can't do it, or people who are working doctors or factories or something that have a shift and they just can't. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they can't do it. So I think I think it's rough, and I think that people don't give the credit to working moms and working dads. Like if you have to work because you have to pay the bills. You know what I mean? Like that's just what you can't raise your kids if you're not working. So
yeah,
it's hard.
Yeah. Shout out to all the working moms because it really is so hard. Like you said, working dads too, because dads miss out on things too, but you get into a routine and you give back in other ways for sure. So let's move to Rihanna's pregnant.
Yes. How exciting. Baby number 3.
Yes.
I think that's super exciting. I kind of hope it's a girl. I know she's a boy mom, but I'd love to see her with a little girl. I think that it'd be cool. I actually really like ASAP Rocky. Sorry. I don't know why I stuttered there. I like watching him, right? Is it ASAP Rocky?
ASAP Rocky.
ASAP. Oh, okay.
Well, you literally have called you. No, I'm leaving it in. You've literally called him ASAP Rocky.
I'm so tired. Okay, sorry.
You literally, we were just talking about him, and I'm pretty sure you said ASAP Rocky.
I did. I called him ASAP Rocky. I'm exhausted,
okay.
Alyssa. Look at these eyes. I'm tired. Okay. So, ASAP Rocky, I love watching him be a dad. Like, I love when he talks about his kids and just the joy of having kids and how he was like, I don't want anybody watching my children. I had children so that I could raise them, and I don't want anybody raising them.
He's a stay-at-home dad.
I know, and I love it. I love it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I just think that, and their kids are so freaking cute. I'm just like, how cute.
I would love for her to have a girl, but like, part of me is like, she's got a good thing going, like, I don't know. Like, I actually just had a friend who had a baby over the weekend. She has 2 boys, and she was kind of hoping for a girl, but she's like, I just feel like it's a boy. Like, that's what I'm meant to be, and that's okay. And she did have another boy, but I just feel like I don't know, I get those vibes from Rihanna. Yeah. And then I also was like thinking about this. So she just announced today. So she had a pretty visible bump. So she's probably like 4 months pregnant.
I would say 5 or 6. I mean, I thought her bump was visible.
Yeah.
Like,
I know, but she was also wearing something, when you like wear something that just like accentuates the bump. I kind of felt like it was more in that realm, because I remember when I had my baby shower for my daughter, and I was only like I was probably like 6 months pregnant. But like people were like, you look like you're going to give birth tomorrow. I don't know if you're going to make it to July. And I'm like,
Offensive.
right? But old school Italians. But I was also wearing like a dress that had a bow that sat right above like where my diaphragm is. So it like cut into accentuate my bump because also you're at a baby shower. I want to look pregnant,
Right.
But I was thinking about this. She's like, let's just say 5 months pregnant she was pregnant while dealing with all of the court situations of A$AP Rocky. Remember, he was like about to like go to jail and stuff over the whole like gun thing. I think that's what it was. Like I don't really know the details. I didn't follow it that closely. I was just waiting on whether or not he was being indicted.
Yes, there you go. You got it.
Being indicted or not. But I was like, oh my God, like that's so stressful to like have to deal with. Am I literally going to lose my partner? And like, because he was like going to go away for like 25 years, not like 2 or 5.
Time.
Like,
it was
a long time. And she was pregnant. Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess Rihanna could do it all. Super Bowl, possible jail sentencing. She does it all.
She's wonderful. So.
Yeah, so we're super happy for her.
Yes, so excited. I can't wait. It's not my kid. I love when people are pregnant now that I won't. I'm like, yay, you do that. And I'm so happy for you.
I did see my friend's baby though, and I was like, ooh.
Oh, I know. It gives you that.
But I was like, no. She was like, I will say I haven't slept in 24 hours and I'm wearing a diaper. And I was like,
yep,
thanks,
and that's why I don't have it anymore. Okay, now let's get down to it.
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And I think
I'm so psyched.
I'm so excited. And so I have like a lot of thoughts on this. I loved last season. I loved Demi. I thought Taylor was great because I feel like going into the show, you thought Taylor was going to be the villain, but she wasn't at all. Obviously, it was Whitney. Even Demi, like, stepped on some toes. I personally really liked her, but I really thought like it was a really good season for Taylor. And like, she's just so pretty and she's like so real. You could definitely see she has some insecurities of herself, but it's like weird because I don't think she's insecure in a vain way. Like she knows that she's like hot because she is and she knows that. But I think she's more insecure in like, am I good enough kind of way. I get that vibe.
I mean, you can tell, but I hate to say it, but her parents didn't seem super like love. You know what I mean? I think they loved their.
She makes TikToks about that all the time, so I don't think it's like she doesn't know that.
Right? Yeah, and I think that's where her insecurity and her bad judgment of men come in.
Yeah, but with this new season, well, let's talk about the pregnancy. Speaking of baby news, Jen's pregnant. Jen Affleck.
Right, Macy,
and Michaela. All three are pregnant. And Whitney did just have a baby in between these two seasons.
Did she?
Remember she announced she was pregnant? Remember she put the pregnancy test in the cake?
That's right. Yeah, that was gross.
Yeah. So
I have to say, I saw a picture of Whitney and Demi with Scott Disick and Chloe. Whitney looked really good with her. I think she looks much better with dark hair.
Yeah.
I think that's a better look for her. But I think she looked pretty. Demi, I think, is the villain of this season.
Drama.
So I was a fan of Demi, and then towards the end, I did not like her. Like, towards the end, I thought she was like, you're not mom talk. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I like you, followed, like, I followed them a little bit before. Like, I knew about the Taylor drama and the swinging thing before, because it was on TikTok, like, during the pandemic. That was like the big thing. And so I knew about who Taylor was. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I know you guys call it mom talk, but it's Taylor. Like, she's the reason that you guys have this following. And so I feel like towards the end, Demi got a little too big for her britches. And I think that that's what is going to ruffle some feathers for this season. I thought the Jen just, it made me so upset.
Disappointing.
My heart broke for her last season. Like, I was like, oh, this poor girl. And and then she just he's crazy.
Yeah. You know what my thing is? The first season of a reality TV show is like no other because they don't give an F. They put it all out there. They're like, I need screen time. I need storylines. I need like money. Like they are hungry and they just throw it all out there. And that's what I really liked about the first season. And nobody a part of the swinging scandal with the first season other than Taylor.
For the second one.
But now Miranda, which I don't like. I don't care. I'm over it. I'm so over it. I don't care about the swinging thing. I don't want to know about Taylor. I want to know about just Taylor. I don't
Yep.
care about her swinging thing because now
Yep.
I feel like this girl Miranda is riding on the coattails of all the success that the show has had. So
Yeah.
I'm like, no, step back. Like I'm curious about
Right.
Demi and Whitney and Jen. Like I am interested in
Right.
these
I'm
other people.
invested in them. I'm not invested in
Yes,
you.
I don't even care about the swinging scandal anymore.
Now, I am going to say, though, Jessie, I could leave her. Like, she didn't.
Jesse. Oh yeah, I
Jessie,
literally had to
yeah.
think about what you said.
Yeah.
Who was
I
that?
I was like, so maybe Miranda could come in and take her spot. Like, it might be good. I don't know that. I know that it'll focus a little bit on the swinging scandal, but I feel like, first of all, we're over it. My thing is, you know me, I need to know the details. And if you guys are going to talk about the swinging scandal, just calling it the swinging scandal, and you don't tell us what really happened, because
Yeah.
what the hell is soft swinging? Like, what does that mean? I feel like to break up a marriage, you guys were
Everything
sleeping with
except
each other.
sex.
But I feel like no. I feel like if all of you were doing it, it wouldn't break up a marriage. Somebody had sex. Chase, like Miranda's husband, wasn't he the one that fell in love with Taylor, and that's why, like, she didn't like him
Was
back?
it
But
her
he was like,
husband?
I thought it was him that was sending
Or
her
was
like
it that
the
girl
text
McKenna?
messages. I don't know. I thought it was whatever girl's coming back. I thought it was her husband. And I have to be honest,
Possible.
while I like the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, I don't care about their husbands. I don't want
Yeah.
male drama drives me crazy. Like, I
I
don't
do.
need to see the men fighting each other, and I, I'm like, oh, it grosses me out. I'm like, no, this
Yeah.
reality TV drama is good when it's coming from the women. The men
Yeah.
drama makes me feel like, why? It's like when I used to watch my Real Housewives of New Jersey, and when Joe Gorga came in, I was done. I was like, you've ruined it for me because I would be embarrassed if he was my husband. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I
See,
just don't like male drama.
I know we've
I like
talked
the
about
male and
like
woman, like when
yeah,
Dakota
yeah.
and Taylor were fighting. Like, I'm okay with that. But
Yeah.
the men going back and forth with each other, I'm like, oh, God, no.
Yeah. So like I know we talk about like age gap things like icky, but Demi's husband, he's handsome. I think he's
I
so
don't think so.
handsome.
I don't think so.
What I do think is a little odd is that the girl Layla, she has like made it known that she thinks Demi's husband is hot.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like I feel like we're getting it, and I feel like I don't think I like Layla.
I don't.
Is that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like her. I think
So
she. I don't
I
know. I
like
just
her. I like her. I think she's a nice person. Like, I don't think she's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I
I
think
don't like her
I
for the
don't,
show.
yeah, yeah.
There's just something about her. I felt like she gave nothing last
Yeah,
season, but
that's the thing
also
is she's really nothing.
but I mean, like, the way the producers edited the show, it was very Taylor focused because, like, did you know that Macy got pregnant and then her, like, baby daddy died in a car accident while she was, like, just a couple weeks pregnant and then
Yes,
had
I
the
did know
baby?
that with her
We
first,
did,
with
okay.
her son.
Yes, we didn't know that from the show. Like, how
Yeah.
do
No.
you not put that out there? There were just some things that Layla was doing that I don't know, I wasn't into, but then I do follow her on social media. And then the way she puts herself out there and like she got her nose done and I know, and her boobs done. And I know that's very big in Utah and it is what it is. But like, I mean, I'm not trying to judge, but like you said, you just can't help it sometimes. And I'm like, you're literally, she was like, what, 22, divorced, 2 kids, boob job, nose job, lips, like all this stuff. And I'm like, girl, like take a minute, like
Right.
chill with
Love
yourself. Yeah.
But you know what? I do have to say, her story, I don't know that it resonates with everybody, but
Yeah.
it's like, I don't think she's comfortable in who she is. You
I
know what
agree.
I mean?
I know, I totally agree.
I mean, even like I'm mixed. You know what I mean? Like I know that I'm mixed. Like
Yeah.
it's who I am. I accept who I am, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
But like even like I feel like there's nobody of color that's around her that's telling her like you shouldn't do some of this stuff. Like some of it, like even I saw when she took out, because I follow her too, when she took out her extensions, her hair is a hot mess.
I know people,
And I'm like,
people
and I'm
were
like, ma'am,
commenting.
you need to fix that. Even if you're gonna wear extensions, just do a big chop and wear a wig until it grows back, because
Yeah.
you're damaging your hair. Like your hair is very African American hair is very different than white people hair. It is. It's
It is,
just
yeah.
it is. Again, I am mixed. I have this hair. It's wash and go hair. It's very easy.
Yeah.
My children don't have my hair, so I had to learn it. But it's like there's nobody who's teaching her, and it's like
She's going to white
she's
stylists.
going to white stylists,
Yeah.
white salons, and
They don't know how to deal
don't.
with that hair.
yeah, yeah,
And
it
that's
looks a
fine.
mess.
Yeah,
it
and that's fine. Go to somebody else. Yeah,
Right.
go to somebody
Yeah.
else who knows how to deal with your hair type.
Right.
And
There's not a lot of, I'm sure I know there's black people in Utah. There has to, I mean, you can't tell me that there's
yeah.
not.
Yeah, no,
there's a black
there's-
hair salon that could help you and make you
Yeah.
look just as good. But I feel like she doesn't really know. She hasn't found her. I mean, she's found
Yeah.
her people and they all are good friends and they seem to be
But
good
she's
friends.
comparing herself.
Yes, and you can't do that. You just can't
Yeah.
do it. It's just,
Yeah.
It's very-
But it's so obviously last season, like Demi and Whitney were like big time on the outs, but they've been doing press together this whole time for season 2.
because
And
I think that they're on the outs with the other girls. So now they're
Yeah.
just allies.
yeah, and I think there was one other girl was it? There was a Whitney and Demi and somebody else doing press together.
Michaela? Was it Michaela? I felt like Michaela didn't have much of a story either. Like
No, she
she
didn't.
could go.
She's pregnant now, so she can't go.
Yes.
I think there was one other person maybe that she was like okay with
Mm-hmm.
doing press with, but mostly I just see her with Whitney, which is ironic.
She hated Whitney.
Yeah, my thing is just like I feel like these girls just need to be like filmed all year round because there's so much that has happened between the end of last season and the beginning or now like in between these two seasons that
Yes.
was kind of pivotal because you could see it in the way they're doing press, the way they're talking about like Taylor like is just commenting on things, like they're all commenting on each other's stuff, like they don't give a damn, they're not holding anything in for
Nope.
this second season. So I'm very curious and I'm so excited to see how it is because like I said, there's nothing like the beginning of a new reality show.
Yeah.
Especially of nobodies trying to become famous. It's like
Yep. It's wonderful.
Reality gold. It is.
It is. It is. But I'm so excited. I really can't wait. Like I said, you have to do a lot to make me hate Taylor. And I really
Yeah.
thought going into it I wasn't gonna like Taylor.
Me
I really
too.
like went into it being like, okay, I'm just not gonna like Taylor. But then I really liked her. And I think I like her because she's real. Like there's nothing about like she doesn't try to be perfect. Like, you know what I mean? Like
But
her hair looks a
that's-
mess sometimes. Her
Yeah.
clothes, you know what I mean? Like they're not like designer. She's in like stretch pants, sweatpants, and a ratty t-shirt. Like
Yeah.
she's relatable. Whereas some of the other ones
Yeah.
are not very relatable.
Yeah, but I feel like that's why I don't care about the swinging scandal anymore is because I believe Taylor. She's put
Right.
it all out there. She's had screenshots she put up. I believe her. She's honest. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I believe her. I don't need to hear anything further from her. So, and I think if I'm not mistaken that Taylor is also mixed in some way. Like obviously she's half white
She's
and
Hispanic.
Yeah, I
Her
think
mom's
she's
Hispanic.
yeah. So, and she looks like, obviously, like, I mean, I'm half Hispanic and half like white and, I'm Italian and Puerto Rican and Peruvian, but like, I wouldn't say like I'm all white. So like you could tell that she just looks a little different from the girls. And I feel like that really sets her apart from
does.
everybody else where it's like, I don't know, there's just something about her too.
Yeah.
But she's not like a showy
No.
one because I feel like Jen is very like she's very proud to be Hispanic, but then she also like kind of backhanded like, well, my mom is a custodian in the same hospital my father-in-law does surgery at.
Yeah,
And I'm
that
like,
really bothered me.
yeah,
No. Yeah.
like don't do your mom like that.
Right. Especially because his family feels like you're beneath them. So stop making it seem like you are. Like
Yeah, I also heard a rumor that they're not really related to Ben Affleck.
they're not. That's what I read. I read because like apparently his family has been like in Utah their whole like whenever they migrated
Life.
over
He's
here.
from Boston.
Yeah. Right. Like no, you're not.
Yeah.
He's not. And I'm sure
Yeah.
that Ben Affleck would be like, I don't want to be related to him.
Yeah,
so
right. He's like, no, thank you.
Yes.
But I'm so excited. I genuinely cannot wait. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to watch in real time. And I don't think you are either.
Neither am I. No, because
Yeah.
I'll be
Yeah,
gone.
you'll be in Costa Rica, and I will actually I'm going to Disney that day with my daughter.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I can't.
So you
I can't
won't.
watch. So, but I'll be catching up.
Yes, me too. I maybe on the plane or something I'll catch up.
Yeah, I'm
maybe.
also curious. Are they releasing one episode at a time? Or are they doing like 2-3 episodes at once. Like,
I hope it's at least 2 at the beginning.
I
Like, at
hope
least
it's
give
at
us
least
2 at a
2.
time or something. But
Yeah.
yeah. And then the thing is that the next week, I don't know that I'll be able to watch it either because I have the graduation. I'm like,
Yeah, I know. We may have a
So,
co-host. My sister-in-law will probably
yes.
be joining us. And I told her, I was like, you have to watch season 1 and just so I could talk about it and put it out there. I will watch it, so I need to be able to talk about it right away.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, but hopefully if they do put out like 2 episodes, you can catch it like once the second set drops. So you can get like 4
Yes.
episodes. Because
I'll
that's
make my
like,
mom watch it with me. She'll be like, what the
yeah.
hell am I watching? But I'll make her watch it with me.
It's
Yeah.
so good. It's so
Yeah.
good. I'm so excited.
And you have to watch White Lotus. You have to catch up so we could chit chat about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard some funky things though about this.
Oh, it's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I have to say, Arnold Schwarzenegger's son was in it.
Yes.
In the third one, he's not bad looking. I thought he was going to be like super ugly. He's not. I don't think he's attractive, but like he's not. I thought he would be.
Not
It shocked
as.
me that yeah. I was like, okay, I see
Yeah.
you, but but yeah. So he's in the third one, but
Yeah. Cool. Well, we will definitely be watching Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And I laughed earlier because I'm pretty sure you said Secret Lives of Mormon Lives. Secret Wives of Mormon Lives.
That's what I said. Secret Wives of Mormon, and then I was like, nope, that's not it. I
Yeah,
told
that's
you
why
I'm
I was
tired.
laughing.
It is what it is.
It
ASAP
is what
Rocky
it
and.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to let you live that one down.
It's okay. It's okay. It'll be a clip. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
That and the yawns because I'm
Oh my
exhausted.
God.
But yeah,
That's so funny.
Yeah, so
But yes, it's late, so we're going to wrap this up. And that is
Yes.
our episode. Stay tuned for our next one.
okay, see you later. Bye. So out of it.